Hello everybody. Today we're going to talk about different types of data collection, different types of statistical studies, you could say. Now, there's some good videos. There's good videos on Khan Academy explaining the difference between the two. I'm not going to spend too much time explaining them. I'm just going to show through examples. I have 4 examples to show you, and we'll talk about why they are either survey, observational, or experimental. So look at this first one here. A superintendent of schools decided to look at the GPA of 2 high schools in his district and decide which one should receive more funding. High school A's GPA was approximately 5% higher than high school B's. So we're just classifying what kind of study is this. Okay, the fact that the superintendent went back and did research on data that had already been collected, that makes it observational. This one is observational. It wasn't an experiment. He didn't ask or question. He just kind of went back and looked at research. That is considered observational study. All right, let's look at this one here. We can fit everything in. It's kind of tight. A group of researchers wanted to measure the impact of playing classical music at bedtime to infants. They chose 20 infants to play music from 6:30 to 7:30 p.m. at bedtime and 20 infants to not play music at all. For each day for 3 months, they observed them for 4 hours and recorded exactly how long it took for them to fall asleep. At the end of 3 months, they calculated the percentage of awake time to the time they slept for 4 hours and compared the percentages to infants that played music versus the infants that did not. This type of study is experimental. It's experimental because there was at least 2 different groups that were being studied. We had the infants that would listen to music before bedtime and those that did not play music at all. All right, and for those that, the ones that had nothing done to it, were not manipulated, that's called the control group. So if you have a control group and you're comparing that versus something you manipulate or do something to, it's an experimental study, kind of like an experiment in science. You want to observe one thing, one group, and then control group where nothing happens, and just observe the differences. So that it makes this experimental. Let's look at number 3. McDonald's wanted to find out the favorite sandwich of teenagers from the ages of 15 to 18. They released a questionnaire to 3 local high school students and asked them to respond with whether or not they like the Big Mac, fish sandwich, or chicken. They calculated the results and decided which sandwich to market to the area. This is a survey. They send out a questionnaire and they get data from that survey. So that's what kind of study this is. Last one. One group of subjects was given an herbal supplement for a year. Another group was given a placebo. After 1 year, the number of illnesses in each group was compared. Again, we have this control situation. The placebo is the control. It's your measuring 2 groups. You're doing a study on 2 groups. One you don't do anything to, but one you do manipulate a variable, in this case the herbal supplement. Again, we see an experimental study here. Alright, I hope that helped explain the differences in the different types of studies. Thank you for watching.